ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PSD Field. Tonight is a pink out. Thanks for joining us as we turn the stands pink for breast cancer awareness. Thank you for wearing pink. Thank you for cheering loud and supporting a great cause. Keep in mind all the breast cancer warriors out there. We are with you. Fossil Ridge High School, as a member of the Poudre School District, the Northern League, and the Colorado High School Activities Association, believes there's an educational value in our athletics program. One of the most important objectives is good sportsmanship. We believe that winning is important, but not more important than dignity and honor. Cheer enthusiastically for your team and show respect and sportsmanship throughout the contest. Please refrain from negative cheers, chants, or behaviors. By your conduct, allow players to feel pride in their school and community. We appreciate your sportsmanship and cooperation. Fossil Ridge High School would like to welcome our guests, the Legacy Lightning, in this matchup against our very own Fossil Ridge Sabercats. Good luck to both teams. Attention fans, don't forget to visit the concession stands located on both concourses. Enjoy a new and improved menu featuring lower prices on all items. Tonight's concession host...
Carter with the ball. For three, makes it.
Face off won by Heritage. Pass up to the D. The D pass right there. Looking for a shot.
Nice shot. To the air again. Jump ball. Easy catch for number 14, Luke Garvin.
Expand their lead. Kubat fumbles the snap. Has to take it. No, he's going to chuck it upfield. Finds Owen Wind. Can you believe it? Owen Wind makes a man miss. To the near side. Cuts back up. Touchdown, Fossil Ridge. Oh my goodness. Owen Wind. That is a walk-off home run for Bill Myers. For Fossil.
Number 12, blocked by Drake.
If you like. There it is. There it is. Marcus. Oh, yes! Right down the sideline. He's going to score! He's going to get in the end zone! That's serious!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sabercat Sports Network. I'm Trace Hand.
And I'm Henry Goots.
And we are live at PSD Stadium.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day for some football. We got an intriguing matchup here. We have Fossil Ridge High School Sabercats versus the Legacy High School Lightning. Who's one guy you're going to be looking for today?
Well, coming off a huge week at the Canvas Classic, the wide receiver for Fossil Ridge, Eli Swanson, had a great game last week, and I am expecting him to continue that performance here today.
Yeah, he was voted Fort Collins area football player of the week. He had 11 receptions, 188 yards, and 2 touchdowns during that game in Canvas Stadium. Looking at the season stats here, he has 681 total yards, averaging 45.4 yards per game. That's actually not right. He's at 92.2, and he has 8 receiving touchdowns. Someone I'll be looking to see on the Legacy side of the football is Joey Jouette. He is the team leader in receiving yards as a tight end. He's got 204 on the year, and he plays both ways. He's got elite athleticism and a great frame. He plays tight end and D end. He's second on the team in sacks, and he's a real difference maker for this squad.
Yeah, and looking at the other side of the ball, Adriel Hernandez for the Fossil Ridge Sabercats, absolute playmaker out there at the cornerback position. Should make a huge impact today with his gritty play style. Team leader in tackles on the season so far, so expect a lot of those from him today.
Yeah, he is really gritty. He's the team leader in tackles. Like you said, he's got 8.2 per game right now, which is a real testament to how physical he can play, but it also shows how bad this Fossil Ridge front seven has been playing. You never want a DB on your team to be leading you in tackles. That means the ball's been getting there too much. Notable thing here for the Fossil Ridge Sabercats, they will be out without their star running back, Will Huff. He's second on the team in total TDs, and he's averaging 85 rushing yards per game. Very, very big loss for them today. We're going to welcome the Fossil Ridge Sabercats out into the field here. It is their home game. Breast cancer awareness theme. The stands are all decked out in pink.
Same as the booth representing up here. Just under 7.5 minutes till kickoff.
Going into this season for Fossil Ridge, they kind of had some high hopes. They lost a lot of seniors, but they had a really good season last year. They were hoping to hopefully make a push into state, but it really hasn't turned out the way that they thought it would, has it?
No, it hasn't.
They're out to an 0-5 start with losses to Loveland, Rock Canyon, Columbine, Regis, and Fort Collins High School. That crosstown rivalry game was last week. Very interesting game, very entertaining to watch. We broadcasted that here on Sabercat Sports Network. If you guys would like to go watch that, that would help us out.
Yeah, we talked to a couple of the players before this game, specifically Ozzie Maccabee and Adriel Hernandez, the cornerback duo of this defense, and they stated that their goal for the remainder of the season is just this week. They want to win game 1 of the rest of the season, and then they'll look at the remainder of the games.
They're trying to start with a clean slate here. Nothing has really gone the way that they've planned, as evidenced by that record. So they're going to try and start with a clean slate, go 1-0 every week, and try and make that push into state. Looking at legacy here, they are 2-3. Also probably not exactly where they would hoped to have been at this point. They have a loss to Fairview, which is a really an incredible team, actually. So that's no bad mark on their record. They have a win against Rocky Mountain, a loss to Grandview, a loss to Broomfield, and a win at Horizon.
The coin toss is about to take place, and highlighting the captains for the Sabercats: Eli Swanson, number 15, Caleb Camping, 87, Cohen Saunders, number 99, and Ozzie Maccabee, number 13.
Eli Swanson and Ozzie Maccabee, the two notable seniors on this young Fossil Ridge roster.
The legacy captains are Dane Hayes, number 0, Dane Morales, number 2, Jacob Peag, number 55, and number 5, Andrew Gardner, the quarterback.
At number 55, Jacob Peag.
Looking at Andrew Gardner's stats here on the season, he has a completion percentage of 67%, which is pretty good. He's averaging 10.2 yards per attempt, and he has 3 touchdowns on the year only, but he does have 5 rushing touchdowns, which is notable. He's not a significant dual threat guy, but he really has been in the red zone. He has 175 passing yards per game and 877 passing yards on the year.
Yeah, he will be interesting to watch in the red zone if they get there. He has been the workload in the red zone. So expect him to take off if he has to and find his way using his legs into the end zone.
Yeah, not a guy that's done a ton of running in between the 20s, but once he gets past that 20 and into that red zone, he really likes to take off and try and reach to that pylon. Coin toss has just finished up, and we are 3 minutes away from the kickoff.
and chose to defer.
Legacy has won the coin toss, and they decided to defer. So we will see the Fossil Ridge offense to start this game.
This Fossil Ridge offense is led out onto the field by Colton Jantz, the young sophomore quarterback who has shown a ton of potential. I know you, for one, really like to see him when he gets the ball out quick and stays on schedule.
Absolutely. I think that is when the offense is in their most rhythm, when Colton Jantz is able to find an open receiver early and accurately, and he's done a really good job of that so far this season.
We're going to pause here really quickly for the national anthem.
That was the national anthem performed by the prestigious Fossil Ridge High School Marching Band.
Thanks to them for coming out.
Absolutely.
So, like we were saying, we are going to see this Fossil Ridge offense take the field here first, as this Legacy High School team is going to run out onto the field fully together for the first time this game.
The running back play for this Fossil Ridge offense is going to be interesting to watch. As Henry said earlier in the broadcast, Will Huff is out, and it looks like he might be out for the remainder of the season. So that is going to be a huge storyline going forward for this offense.
Not only has he really been a fan favorite, he's also just torn up defenses. Like we've said on some of our earlier broadcasts, the first tackler really almost never gets him down, let alone the second. He's really elusive. He also uses his power well, and he's gotten them out of some really tough scenarios. They'll give him the ball when they really need a big play, and it's going to be really hard for this offense to adjust to a game plan without him. Filling his seat will be Damian Masters as well as Max Scott.
We saw a lot of Damian Masters in the game last week, and he did great. He filled the role perfectly. Came up huge on a big 4th and 17 and converted 17 on a dump-off pass to Masters. So I'm excited to see what he can do if he gets the opportunity tonight.
Not only did he get him into that 4th and 17, they were in a 3rd and 27. He got him into that 4th and 17. So he picked up the entire distance of the chains there on that drive.
Legacy getting ready to kick it off. Eli Swanson deep on his own goal line to return. Number 43, the kick is up. It is a short one, stays in bounds, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Keeps it away from Eli Swanson.
It's actually a really big deal that it did stay in bounds. For those of you that don't know, when a kickoff travels out of bounds, the receiving team can automatically choose to take that ball at the 40-yard line. Whereas going into the end zone there, they get a 20. That's a 20-yard shift from just a few lucky bounces.
Yeah, and field position is always huge in games like these, scrappy games. Field position is going to play a huge role in deciding today's outcome. Colton Jantz ready to start things off, and it is Damian Masters to his right in the backfield. Jantz gives it to Masters on the first play. It's a run up the middle, sniffed out early, picks up 2 yards.
Good job by that Legacy front seven there, just stuffing them at the line of scrimmage, not giving them much room to run. Like we were talking about earlier, number 85, Joey Jewett, great guy to watch there on this D-line. Big dude, good athleticism. He's a real playmaker.
4 receivers out wide. Masters remains in the backfield. Colton Jantz. Eli Swanson in motion behind them. Jantz throws to him. Swanson makes a man miss. Gets a good chunk of yardage.
He'll be down at about the 25 or 26.
Looks like a pickup of 3 yards, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 5.
Eli Swanson is a really tough guy to bring down when he's in space. He has a lot of run after catch yards on this season. Real shifty guy. Also uses his frame well, can run through people a lot of the time.
I'd be surprised if we don't see more of that, just getting the ball to Eli Swanson, even if it's not a deep shot down the field. 3rd and 5 here. Masters still in the backfield. Gavin Zanatelli alone up top. Jansen the shotgun looking to Zanatelli, fires, and it's caught by Zanatelli, and that's going to pick up the 1st down.
Nice 10-yard pickup there from Gavin Zanatelli. They're going to mark him as 9 yards picked up there, out to about the 34. Zanatelli is a young guy we've seen on this roster show some incredible potential. Really quick guy, great athleticism. Done a good job making some spectacular catches, really. We'll look to see some more out of him as this game goes on.
Yeah, Zanatelli's shoulder has been bothering him lately, but it looked fine on that reception there. 3 receivers on the bottom of your screen. Jant's still in the shotgun. And it's a give to Masters, run up the middle. Popped immediately, but picks up 2 yards.
No blockers from that Fossil Ridge offensive line made it past the down linemen, so the linebackers were just free to make a tackle there. They did that. That's how you really stuff the run. Great job eating up blocks by those down linemen, and you'd really like to see that Fossil O-line get a little bit more physical, win some of those one-on-ones, and not have to rely on double teams so much.
Yeah, definitely. That's another short pickup on 1st down. It's going to set up a 2nd and 8 as Jantz looking down to the bottom of the screen, fires, finds Eli Swanson. What a throw by Colton Jantz. Puts it right where his man can get it, and Eli Swanson makes the play. Huge gain on 2nd and 8.
We've talked a lot about him already, and we're only a few minutes into the 1st quarter. Great throw by Colton Jantz. Looking at that instant replay, what a cannon he has, and he puts it right on the money. Eli Swanson runs right past his guy and had so much speed the safety couldn't even catch him.
1st and 8 inside the 28-yard line of Legacy.
They're going to call a quick audible as everybody looks to the sideline, gets a new play call. Jant's going to be signaling.
Jantz takes a snap, looks out to Caleb Camping, connects with him. It's a throw behind the line of scrimmage, and Caleb Camping does a good job just getting back to the line of scrimmage.
I'm not quite sure that he even did. I think that's going to be a loss of 1. Tight end screen play there. No blocks really set up at all. That's kind of on the wide receivers as well as the O-line there. All the DBs were able to make that tackle. Kind of blown up from the start.
Yeah, it wasn't a great disguise as Caleb Camping was waiting for the ball for forever.
But I do like the play call. Colton Jantz is great when he gets the ball out quick.
I agree. It's 2nd and 10, maybe a little more. It's a give to Masters up the middle, bounces off a would-be tackler, and gets met by a group of Legacy Lightning defenders, but it was a pickup of about 5 yards.
That was Austin Woods, the safety, the senior safety there coming down to make the tackle. Damian Masters got through a few there, so good job of wrapping him up and getting him on the ground. We've got a 3rd and 6 here. I'd like to see Colton Jantz throw the ball, try and pick up these 6 yards and get a touchdown on the 1st drive instead of having to settle for 3.
Fossil was able to convert on a 3rd down earlier this drive as Swanson goes in motion, and he's going to look left, finds Swanson, but it brings him back a little bit, able to bobble and make the catch, but he's going to go nowhere after the catch.
We had a really good view on that camera shot of that throw. If it just let him out in front a little bit more, would have saved him a lot of time and gained him a few yards, maybe given him a chance to break 1 tackle or make a guy miss and get that first down and potentially a lot more. But that throw was a yard and a half behind him. He had to stop, move backwards, corral it, and then accelerate again. Lost a lot of his balance and really had no chance to make a play there. Looks like they're going to stay out and go for it on this 4th and 6. Something we've seen a lot is this Fossil Ridge going for it on 4th down outside of the 20s.
3 receivers up top to the short side of the field as Colton Jantz is in the shotgun. And there is a stoppage of the play. It's a timeout called by the Sabercats, so they're going to think their decision over.
This is a really big play here. First drive of the game, 4th and 6. That's manageable, but it's definitely not what the analytics would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fossil has driven down the field so far. They're not showing any signs of being stopped by this Legacy Lightning, except for on this 4th down potentially. But we've seen it earlier in the season where the Sabercats are able to drive down the field and then they get stalled and go for it on 4th down but are unable to convert.
We've also seen a lot of turnovers from them as they get into their own territory. And we're going to see what this play call is.
The offense stays out on the field, so
same set 2. Looks like it's a passing play, but offensive coordinators are always trying to get tricky, make you think they're gonna do something and do the other.
The snap. Jantz looking down the middle, and he overthrows his target, Caleb Camping, and that is going to stall the drive.
No points on that first drive from Fossil Ridge. Started out looking really promising. Coaches may be questioning that call to go for that 4th and 6 instead of trying to go for that field goal there. Let's look at this instant replay. Colton Jantz's feet weren't quite set, not great footwork.
Looks like Eli
Releases
Swanson had his man beat.
There were 2 potential targets on that play there. 87, the big tight end, Caleb Camping, as well as Eli Swanson further downfield. Legacy's going to snap the ball. Great stop up the middle there by Kamadrig. Foley got into the backfield very quickly and into the runner's face. Forced him to bounce outside, and a good tackle was made.
That was Aiden Morton on the carry, and Andrew Gardner is set to drive down the field, looking to drive down the field for the Legacy Lightning. Morton's still in the backfield with Gardner. There's a man in motion. That was Jewett. Fakes the handoff, and they give it to Jewett on a dump pass, and he fumbles the ball. Big hit, and the ball is free. It's Drew Cipher. Causes the fumble and falls on it. What a play by Drew Cipher after he looked like it was a big pickup.
The refs are going to rule that he was down beforehand. Boos from this side of the field. Let's look at the instant replay. Let's see what they were looking at. Big man rumbling.
Yeah, he was not
clearly
down.
looks up when that ball comes out. I'm really not sure what that call was.
That's a missed call by the referees there as it's a give up the middle. Looks like it's Morton again.
Morton has had the majority of the carries for this offense, but he is only averaging 3.6 per carry. Not something you want to see unless it's a ground and pound offense, which this really isn't.
Legacy looking to convert, capitalize off of this break they have just been given, as Gardner finds a man out wide on a screen, and he's going to pick up the first down and plenty more. That was Peyton Studebaker.
Good pickup there from that Legacy offense. Andrew Gardner's doing a great job of getting the ball out really quickly on the mark to give his receivers some rack of room. They're going to line up quickly and snap the ball again.
Andrew Gardner fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, bounces out to the outside and picks up about 5 yards. So we said he's not really known for using his legs, but he certainly is capable of doing so.
Yeah, he's got 101 rushing yards on the year, but the number that really jumps out when you look at his rushing stats is the 5 rushing touchdowns. That's more than he has through the air.
Yeah. Andrew Gardner gives to Morton. Morton makes a man miss, but brought down by the second tackler. Looks like he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job there by that Fossil defense, getting the stuff, setting up a 3rd and 7 here, trying to get this drive to stall.
7 yards to go.
Big play here.
Fossil looking to come up big here. As there is a
Blitzing.
pass, finds a man wide open, creasing across the field. Goes out of bounds past the sticks, and that's a first down. That was Studebaker again.
We've seen a lot of play calls that are designed to really give rack ability to their wide receivers. Let's look at this replay. Look at all that space he's got downfield. Good blocks downfield as well. A lot of space to pick up the chains. Something we would kind of see out of a Will Stein coached offense at the University of Oregon. Just kind of get the ball out quick, get some rack.
Andrew Gardner takes a snap, rolls out right, met by the defense. Fires looking for Jewett, but covered well.
Intended for number 85.
It's going to set up a 2nd and 10 after the incompletion.
Joey Jewett is their leading receiver on this squad like we talked about earlier. Even though he is a tight end, he's got a huge frame. As we've seen earlier, the ability to run through some tacklers. He has 204 receiving yards on the year, no touchdowns, but he is averaging 10.2 yards per catch, so he can pick up a lot
Morton
at a time.
stumbles, and they still give it to him, but that is a good job by the Sabercats defense, able to bring him down right at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to, actually they're going to call it a loss of a yard, so it's going to set up a 3rd and 11. Second, 3rd and long on this drive, and Legacy converted on the first one.
Yeah, it's really another big opportunity for this Fossil Ridge defense to try and keep them off the board. We probably wouldn't see them go for it on 4th down, but that's what we said about Fossil Ridge too, and they went for it. So let's see.
Gardner fakes the handoff, met in the backfield, but gets the ball off, and it's a good defensive play.
Broken up again by Josh Malone. Look at this replay here. Gardner gets the ball out with a player in his face. It's a little bit off target, and there was really no separation there. Great pass break up there.
And now it's a 4th and 11 for Legacy, but it looks like the offense is staying on the field.
This is something we'd expect to see more out of a Pee Wee football team, what both of these teams are doing, going for these 4th downs.
Morton lines up directly behind Gardner, who fires deep. Look, has a man, but he overthrows him in the end zone.
Man, he was there. He had a couple steps on Josh Stetz, but the ball just wasn't quite there. Let's look at that. Good release.
It's been his favorite target so far in Studebaker, but now that's going to give the Sabercats good field position to start this second drive.
One-on-one coverage, the matchup they wanted, and he ran right by Stetz, the safety. Still just couldn't quite connect. This Fossil Ridge offense is going to come back out onto the field, try and keep that momentum that they had on that first drive until they stalled out.
Max Scott in the backfield with Jantz. We saw him a couple times on the previous drive.
Linebackers showing blitz.
Jantz gives to Scott, who runs up the middle and picks up about 3 yards.
Scott is more of a power back that we're going to see as opposed to Damian, who's more of elusive. Will Huff was a guy that could really do both of those, and these guys are both kind of one-tiered backs, so we'll see them in combo a lot tonight.
So far in this game, we've seen a lot of runs up the middle for Fossil Ridge on 1st and 10, and it's set up a lot of 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 play calls. So we'll see what they call here as Jantz is in the backfield, joined by Scott, who Jantz finds Braden Higgins across the middle of the field, who stays up. Good pickup by Braden Higgins.
Good play design there. He had a post over the middle. Let's look at this replay. Good job getting the ball out quick like we talked about. Finds a soft spot in that zone. Catch by Higgins, who gets a few more on that run. They're going to snap it quickly already.
Jantz looking over to the sideline for this 1st and 10.
They've done a lot of audibles at the line of scrimmage on offense.
Jantz gives to Scott, and he is brought down immediately.
Scott hesitated a lot right there. Spent about a second just pumping his feet, looking for a hole. when he really just had to charge into one because there wasn't one available. He tried to power through somebody, just didn't really have it. Let's look at this. Linebackers are going to do a good job of filling the gaps, getting him on the ground.
So yet another 2nd and long for the offense.
Once again, another audible. They're kind of getting looks and changing calls early.
2 receivers at either side, and Jantz finds Caleb Camping. Great pickup there, gets the ball out quick, and it looks like they're going to mark him just short of the sticks.
That was Caleb Camping, the big tight end. Let's look at the instant replay here. Good hands, good job lowering his shoulder, getting a few extra. Great play there.
That sets up a 3rd and 1. And again, Jantz looks over to the sideline.
Audible again. We haven't seen quite as much of this season from Fossil Ridge.
Scott still in the backfield, and they're looking to Caleb Camping again. And that's another screen behind the line of scrimmage. That's what we saw on the first drive, and that one didn't work either. It's going to set up a 4th down.
On these tight end screens or wide receiver screens, you really need to be quick once you count that ball. And so far we've seen one thrown behind and one bobbled a little bit there. It might not seem like they spend a lot of time doing it, but I mean, with the pace of a high school football game like this, bobbles, something like that can burn a lot of time when it comes to blocking and close a lot of gaps. They're going to go for it on 4th and 2 here.
Under center. With Masters in the backfield, it's a give to Masters, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. They're not going to get it. They come short on another 4th down.
Once again, interesting. Fossil Ridge could potentially have 6 points on the board. That's definitely not a given. High school kickers, a 40-yard field goal like that one would have been more of like a 47-yarder. That's definitely not a given. So maybe they're making the right call here, and they don't have the faith in the special teams unit to make that. So it just makes more sense to go for the 4th.
So 3 drives in this game so far and 3 turnovers on downs, as Gardner and this Legacy offense gets their 2nd chance. Gardner gives to Morton. Morton up the middle, and he is met by multiple defenders.
Great job from these Fossil Ridge linebackers stuffing that right there. Something we haven't seen them do a great job on all year. They've done a lot of filling the wrong gaps, if I'm being completely honest. So good job to see them get it right there, get the ball carrier on the ground, keep him to a gain of just 3 yards.
Yeah, Crew Isa made a great play on that, wrapping him up immediately. Gardner takes a snap and fires out to Studebaker on a screen, makes a couple men miss, and that's a good pickup on 2nd down. It's going to set up a 3rd and short.
3rd and 1-ish is what we're looking at. Although both line judges seem to have a different spot here, they are going to give him the 1st down. Not entirely sure that I agree with that. That's going to move the chains, set up a 1st and 10. He was definitely close, but I don't think he got it. And we've got a player down on the field for Fossil Ridge, not something that you want to see.
Looks like it's Josh Stetz. The trainer is tending to him. He's able to get up on his own power.
Hopefully it's just a cramp, but he does seem to be in a little bit more pain than that. Looking at this Fossil Ridge student section, they're all decked out in pink for breast cancer awareness today. Love to see that. We are too up here in the booth. They're noticing the camera. Something like a student section can really make a difference when it's a home game like this, where the other team had a long distance to come and doesn't really have something that can make noise and get in the opponent's head on the other side.
Morton lines up right behind Gardner on this 1st and 10. It's a give to Morton, and he finds a lot of wide open space in the middle of the field, picks up the 1st down. Good run by Morton.
Good tackle by Braden Higgins there at the safety position. No one else could really seem to get a hand on him. He was running through arm tackles until Higgins got right in front of him. Good form tackle, got him on the ground, but that's a great pickup for this Legacy offense.
Another 1st and 10 look for Legacy. Gardner still in the shotgun with Morton right behind him, and it's another give to Morton. this time goes a lot differently as he's met just at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be another 2nd and 10, as that is the end of the first quarter.
All right, well, we've seen 3 turnover on downs here in the first quarter already. 3 promising drives that got not quite into the red zone, but it got them past the 40s into the opposing territory. But I guess both teams didn't necessarily trust their special teams units enough to kick from that distance. Not sure. I'm not at practice. I don't see where their kickers can make it from. Although we were watching the Legacy kicker drill some 47 and 50 yarders in the warm-ups, so maybe they're questioning their decision to go for it, and they would be up if they had kicked that and made it 3-0.
Yeah, Legacy went for it on a 4th and long, which was a little confusing, but nonetheless they're driving on their second opportunity. 2nd and 10 here at the start of the second quarter.
All right, they're going to have the ball here at the 49 to start this off, 2nd and 10.
Gardner looking out left, being pressured, rolls out right, finds a man. It's a good catch, pickup of about 6 yards on the play.
Dane Morales, that was Devon Kirchevel with the catch there. Good pickup on 2nd and 10, gets half of it to try and set up a 3rd, and not necessarily on schedule, but manageable.
After seeing them go for it on that 4th and 11 on the first drive, you would think this has to be 4 down territory. And a really bunched up formation here, as it looks like Morton gets the direct snap, but he's brought down immediately.
Great play there by that Fossil Ridge front 7. Great job stuffing the run. Quarterback power to the right side there. Let's look at this replay. Good job by everyone getting off of their blocks. Something they saw on tape probably there. You don't see that formation much from this offense. So potentially they knew what they were running.
The offense does run off the field, and it looks like the punt team has come out on this 4th and 5.
Eli Swanson back deep to return it. Potential fake here. He gets under center.
Looks like it's going to be a hard count, just trying to draw them off sides as he backs up. And here is the snap. It's a low snap. It gets through the punter's legs. Picks it up. No, he doesn't. And he's brought down. Fumbles. Goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And that is huge for the Sabercats.
Special teams always make a difference. Let's look at this instant replay. Snap was just low, was bouncing around. Had an opportunity to pick it up there. Took a weird hop, couldn't get it. Doesn't matter if he's down or if he fumbled, it'll be the same spot.
Good hustle by the rushers there of the Sabercats, number 33.
That is potentially the equivalent of a 60-yard play there on offense. They would have had the ball, I'm guessing, somewhere down around the 20, and now they've got it all the way at the other 20.
That was another big play by Crew Isom, able to track down the punter and make nothing happen on that botched snap.
He had a great tackle on that quarterback power as well. Back-to-back incredible tackles from him there.
Illegal variety is all against Legacy.
All right, the Sabercats will have the ball at the Legacy 26-yard line.
Did not expect to be saying that.
On the Legacy 26-yard line.
Jance in shotgun. It's a give to Masters. Breaks the first tackle, but then brought down after, looks like he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. But it's another run play on 1st and 10, and they might be getting a little too predictable on these first down runs.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of these first down runs. This defense seems to know that Damien is the elusive guy, and Max Scott is the more powerful back. And he tried to make a couple man miss there, and he did on a couple, but just not enough time to get upfield.
So he was unable to make it back to the line of scrimmage, and it's a 2nd and 11 as Jance takes a snap, looks right, finds Zanatelli, who makes the catch, makes a man miss and picks up the first down.
That will move the chains. Great catch, great agility. Oh no.
Zanatelli slow to get up.
His teammates motioning actually very worriedly to the sidelines. Eli Swanson running over to the offensive coordinator, tapping his shoulder, waving his hands in the air. Gavin came into this game with a messed up shoulder, and we're hoping that didn't get just a lot more serious. There seemed to be some concerned body language all over this Fossil Ridge sideline. Zanatelli is a sophomore that we've seen a lot of potential from. Let's hope that he's all right. The wide receiver 2 on this Fossil Ridge squad.
He is able to get up. It's hard to tell. Walking off on his own power. Looks like he's favoring his right shoulder.
Yeah, it's that same shoulder that was bothering him coming in. Walking off doesn't mean a ton when it is a shoulder injury, but we'll hope that he's all right. As we said earlier, this Fossil Ridge team already without their star running back, Will Huff.
It was a great pickup, so that will set up a 1st and 10 in the red zone for the Sabercats. As Jantz looks left, fires left, wide open Braden Higgins, and he makes a man miss, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Braden Higgins on the catch and run.
Great play design there. They had him running a little hitch, something we see out of a West Coast offense, while Eli Swanson, that guy that everyone has their eyes on. Look at that on the instant replay. Good catch. Gets it outside, bends the corner, runs through the contact into the end zone. I really like that play design. Like I was saying, defenders were drawn over by Eli Swanson on that slant across the middle. Braden Higgins ran a great hitch, got some separation, one-on-one, able to get around and bend the corner for the touchdown.
So Fossil strikes first. They have 6 on the board. Extra point is up, and it is good to make it 7-0 Sabercats.
Sabercats trying to feed off of this energy here as they're going to head out onto defense. One score lead, first guys to get on the board. Always a great feeling.
Great job capitalizing on that mistake by the punt team of Legacy. Sets up with great field position and able to capitalize.
First drive that we haven't seen end in a 4th down turnover. Braden Higgins, after that receiving touchdown, is now set to come out here and kick it off. He does have a soccer background. That's why he's the guy that sends out these boots.
Looks like it's Kerchevel back to receive. And I think it's Studebaker to his left, also set back to receive. Higgins' kick is up, and it goes to Studebaker at his own goal line, backs up into his own end zone, and it's going to be a touchback.
He did wave fair catch, but then tried to run it afterwards. Refs were paying attention. They're going to get the ball at the 20.
So another chance for this Sabercats defense to step up and get another stop.
First drive for Legacy. Moved the ball pretty well down the field, but it stalled out, wound up going for a 4th and long and didn't get it. Same thing happened on the next drive, except they tried to punt it. Had a very, very, very costly play. Ball went backwards about 40 yards, and Fossil Ridge jumped on it on that punt.
Gardner troubles with the snap. Able to... Oh, huge hit.
Goodness.
Massive hit on Gardner.
Braun Southworth with an incredible hit. That's something that gets in the quarterback's head, makes him think next time that he sees 22 coming around that edge.
Seemed like the entire defensive line for the Sabercats was in the backfield. As he was running away from 3 people, he meets a brick wall in Braun Southworth.
Trouble with the snap here, as we're seeing with that replay, lowers the shoulder right into the upper body of that Legacy quarterback. He's seeing stars for sure.
2nd and 17 after that huge play by Braun Southworth. Gardner gets the snap, drops back, it's a screen, but it's sniffed out by Adriel Hernandez. Great job.
Adriel Hernandez, that team leader in tackles we were talking about earlier. He is a DB, but he's tough and he's gritty. This instant replay here. D-line gets through on that screen. Not a lot of blockers downfield for Legacy on that screen. A little bit of miscommunication, I'm sure, but an even better job by Adriel Hernandez. He was right there. Even if there were blockers downfield, he was making that tackle.
Adriel Hernandez, starting at free safety this game, does a good job crashing down.
We do usually see him at cornerback, so this is new for him.
Gardner trying to find something on a 3rd and 18 with Morton behind him. It's a fake to Morton as Gardner fires, has Studebaker who makes the grab. And he does not go down. He'll go all the way for a touchdown. Unbelievable play by Studebaker on a 3rd and 18. A little frustration at the end of it by Adriel Hernandez. Huge play for Legacy.
These Fossil Ridge DBs clearly angry all of a sudden, pointing at each other. Play action there, brought the safety down, got that one-on-one against Josh Stetz there, and just a great job of getting a beautiful ball, some separation, and then running through that tackle, a tackle that really needs to be made there for Josh Stetz. They're going to kick the extra point here really quick.
Kick is up, and it is good to tie the score at 7 apiece.
Adriel Hernandez with a great effort there, almost got a hand on it. Extra points do make a difference. That is a point, and a point is all it takes to win the game. Explosive play there from that Legacy offense.
Yeah, and that's the first explosive play so far in this game, pretty much, as that is a huge pickup on a 3rd and 18. The Sabercats were looking like they were going to get another stop, but Andrew Gardner had another idea, and it involved Studebaker.
That really was a great job by Studebaker. He got one-on-one coverage as that safety came down on that play action play, and he really just ran by his man, had about a step of separation, and it was a great ball from Gardner. A tackle should have been made. That really should have been only about a 40-yard game, but instead it turned into an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, so Peyton Studebaker seemingly the favorite target so far of Andrew Gardner in this game. Kick is up. Eli Swanson able to return it, and he tries to go left. Not many blocks made, but Swanson does a good job of finding his way to about the 24-yard line.
He was seeing a sea of white jerseys there. Special teams had a few blocks up the middle, but everyone came in clean around the edge. He made a few guys miss and got up to about the 24 is where they're going to mark him, I believe. So 4 yards more than if he would have taken that touchback. 4-yard gain, basically.
And a sudden abundance of scoring as the Sabercats are looking to continue that here on this drive.
Audible again at the line.
Jantz with Masters to his right. It's a give to Masters. Makes a couple men miss. Good move there by Masters. Picks up 4 or 5 yards.
He was hit low, right on that knee. That looked painful, but he seems to be all right. Can't afford to lose another running back for this Fossil Ridge team. Here comes the replay. Good blocks on that edge by Nicholas Klapperich, setting him up for a few extra yards. Same set here again for this 2nd and 5. Good job staying on schedule.
Jantz gives to Masters again, this time a hole, and he's able to pick up the first down. Good pickup by Damian Masters.
That looked like a very similar play out of that same set. Run behind the left tackle there. That time actually the tight end was leading with the blocks, as we can see there, instead of that tackle. That was about the only difference though, and pretty much the same outcome as they pick up the chains there and will set up for a 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half as the Sabercats are driving. Jantz looking right, pressured, rolls out, and he is brought down. It's a huge loss. looks like about 12 yards.
Colton Jantz may be known for his arm talent and his ability to make pretty much any throw in the book, but he's also known for not being great with his elusiveness and agility. He's going to take a few steps backwards there and get wrapped up and dragged backwards even further. He has been really good today, but we'd like to see him maybe step up in the pocket instead of dropping back there and taking a few extra yards on that loss.
It was a 9-yard sack. It's going to set up a second and very long 19 yards. Jansen the shotgun. Looks right again, pressured, but this time it's a screen, and he just throws it below the hands of Damian Masters, and it sets up a third and very long.
Not sure it would have made much of a difference, though. There were two Legacy defenders right there ready to make that tackle. Let's see this instant replay. Throw goes right into the ground, but as you can see, they were about to light him up anyways. Not a great play from the start. Setting up a 3rd and 19, obvious passing scenario. I would expect them to look in the direction of either Caleb Camping or Eli Swanson, two guys that they've gone to early and often here in this game.
Well, we saw a touchdown on a 3rd and 18 on the other side of the field. Here's a 3rd and 19 as Jantz finds a man on the sideline, but that's not nearly enough to pick up the first down.
That was Josh Stetz with the reception. Not sure what the decision was to throw that ball there. That really never had a chance of picking up the chains.
Looks like they were just trying to get back in some decent field position to maybe let Caleb Camping get a good punt off and set up Legacy in some difficult field position to overcome.
You've heard of two-way players, but how about a three-way? Caleb Camping plays tight end, DN, and he punts for the special teams unit.
The punt is off, and it's a pretty good one. It's going to go out of bounds, looks like at about the 25, maybe inside it a little bit.
They're going to put him right down in that area.
They're going to say it went out at about the 30-yard line.
Legacy offense getting their first punt there. They have gotten 2 4th down turnovers, but forcing their first punt there. As this offense runs out onto the field to look and try and build off of that momentum that they had with that 80-yard touchdown.
Gardner in the shotgun. It's a fake. Looks across the middle of the field, deflected. Great defense there. That was Jean-Pierre Mutebi, sorry.
Ball's deflected up is something you always want to see on defense. Let's look at this. Goes right off of his shoulder and up into the air. Lucky that that wasn't intercepted. Jean-Pierre Mutebi did a great job of having his eyes on it. Just went a little bit out of his reach. Balls deflected up usually result in turnovers. Not something you want to see if you're that Legacy offense.
Gardner still in the shotgun on the 2nd down. And it's a handoff, but sniffed out by the defense.
Looks like Kamadric Foley with that tackle.
I think it was Chase Combs on the carry.
Great job stuffing the run on that D-line there.
Sets up a 3rd and 9, but they're probably not too concerned with a 3rd and long after seeing last drive. Gardner looks out left, finds his man in the backfield, and he is going to get tackled short of the line to gain. It was a decent pickup, but it was 3rd and long as he picks up 6 yards.
That is a play that you design for rackability, and there was a lot of room, but great job by those Fossil Ridge linebackers and the secondary of getting over there and making sure that he couldn't pick up the chains. Looks like the punt team is going to come back out. Last time that they came out, it did not go well at all. Wound up turning the ball over and giving Fossil Ridge about 40 extra yards that they could have been forced to have picked up on offense.
I'm curious to see if they attempt that fake again, which they will. He's under center, and it is just going to be another hard count. I guess you might as well try it. You never know. This time it's a good snap as a flag flies. The punt is up, and it's a short one. Eli Swanson lets it bounce in front of him, and it's a good bounce for Legacy as it bounces inside the 15-yard line.
They're going to down it at about the 13, it looks like. The flag did go up in the air, though. I'm wondering if that was an illegal formation. The ref seemed ready to throw it right up, and he threw it the second it was snapped. So I bet that's what we're going to see. They're talking it over with the coaches.
Was on Legacy. Not sure what the call was. And
interesting. They're going to bring the ball all the way back down and make him re-punt it?
Let's retry the punt.
that was, it looked like an illegal formation sign.
I do believe that's what was called. Don't exactly know the rules for how that works with just adding it to the return or making them repunt, but they're going to repunt, and I'm sure Fossil Ridge is happy as that was an incredible boot.
Yeah, good decision to make them repunt as they have seen what might go wrong. This time a high snap. The punt is up, and it's short again. This time a fair catch is called by Eli Swanson. Falls to the ground, but able to corral it.
They're going to get the ball at the 32-yard line, so that penalty winds up being a shift of about 20 yards.
Yeah, good decision there by the coaches.
Still a great boot from that Legacy special teams. And out comes this Fossil Ridge offense, looking to score from their own territory for the first time this game.
Yeah, a little over 3 minutes left in the half as the Sabercats are hoping to add to the score before the half. Jansen, the shotgun, looks left immediately, finds his man Caleb Camping, but he's brought down with a boom right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of one.
Great form tackle from Jacob Folker there. Got low on that big man. Yeah, look at that. Great job. Lowers his shoulder, wraps him up, lets him get nothing more. Caleb Camping is a hard guy to bring down, as we've seen this season. He's a big boy, great frame. Part of the reason why he's getting a lot of Division I attention.
So Fossil probably not too happy with their production on first down so far, as they've been facing a lot of second and longs. As here is a 2nd and 10, and Jantz looks over to the sideline again. A little over 2.5 minutes left in the half.
Clock is something you might have to keep in mind.
Jantz takes the snap, looks out right, looks for his man Braden Higgins, who makes a leaping attempt, but it falls incomplete, and it's a 3rd and long.
The throw not only seemed to be off the mark there, but I also am questioning that read a little bit. Seemingly no separation.
And that incompletion does stop the clock, so now Legacy really happy with that. And it's a 3rd and 10 for the offense.
Fossil has not done a great job of picking up the chains when they've gotten off schedule early. Let's see what they do here.
That incompletion allowed Legacy to not use one of their timeouts, so they still have all 3 as Jantz is in the shotgun, looking left, fires left to a not open receiver, it looked like, and it was a little bit high of a throw again. That was Stetz on the sideline.
Triple coverage on Eli Swanson deep. They're really looking his way. Let's look at that throw again. He did a good job of layering the ball, actually, but I'm not sure about how open he was exactly. Catch wasn't made. That's all that matters. Legacy is going to get the ball back with 2 minutes and 21 seconds left.
Caleb Camping to punt again. And no one's set back deep to receive. I'm not sure if that was designed or what, but it is a decent punt. It's going to set up Legacy at their own 35-yard line.
Interesting to see no one back to return that.
There was a lot of pressure on the punter to get that off, Caleb Camping, but nobody able to meet him in the backfield as he gets the punt off clean.
High arcing punt. Good, but not great. Interesting that there was no returner.
Yeah, we've seen some interesting special teams play designs for this Legacy Lightning team.
As their offense comes out here again with 2 minutes, they're going to try and march down and score and take the lead at halftime.
Like I said, they have all 3 timeouts, so clock not the biggest issue, but they still have 2 minutes to go as Gardner is able to find a man. It was Devon Kirchhevel.
He picked up a few there. That's the first time that we have seen Legacy run a trips bunch formation here, as they had blockers downfield, and he lowered his shoulder and really picked up a lot more than that Fossil defense was hoping.
Yeah, pickup of 6 on first down, and they're looking to do the same exact thing, but there's a big play in the backfield, able to jump up and bat the ball down.
Crew ice him with that right there. He came off the edge pretty much unblocked, jumped up in Andrew Gardner's face.
Crew Isom having a huge game so far defensively for these Sabercats. And now a 3rd and 4 for Legacy.
Looking at that replay there, Crew seemingly frustrated that he couldn't come down with that ball and get that pick 6, as he had a ton of room behind him, but still a great defensive play.
And
A minute and 40 left on this clock here, as Legacy is still going to look ahead to this 3rd and 4.
Legacy calls a timeout with the clock stopped, so this one's just to talk it over.
They do have all 3, shouldn't be an issue. Although I might wind up eating those words if it does come down to the clock being a problem in the red zone late.
Yeah, so looking for a big play call here on 3rd and 4, as they are hoping to maybe go ahead at the end of this half and then ultimately try to build off of that when they get the ball in the second half.
Still a 7-7 game here. We've seen a lot of 4th down turnovers on both sides of the ball.
Honestly, we've seen a good amount of production from these offenses, but the defense is able to step up when they must step up. As Gardner looking out left, hit in the backfield, but he still has a man. Great coverage there by Josh Stetz.
Stetz got beat on that route. Great job by Peyton Studebaker, who has made some big plays tonight, to get behind him, but the ball was just underthrown by maybe a step or 2. Had to slow down, allowed Stetz to get back within range and make that pass breakup.
So that was a great job defensively by the Sabercats, as only a little over 30 seconds on that drive. So they have 2 timeouts remaining, looking to get the ball back with about a minute and 30 seconds left. It's another high snap. The punt is up clean, but it's short of Eli Swanson again, who calls a fair catch, but it's going to bounce and find its way inside the 20-yard line at about this 17-yard line.
Really good punt there from Ethan Perkins.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've seen actually quite a few great punts from him tonight as we look at this one here again. A lot of power behind that leg. Got some great bounces. Picked up about 15 more yards on the ground. Great to see from this Legacy special teams. He did have that mishap earlier with the snap, but other than that, he's done a great job with getting that boot off and getting it deep, really.
So now a minute and 21 seconds for this Sabercat offense, with 2 timeouts to try and march down the field, which we've said on the past 3 drives, it seems like, but both teams unable to do so far. Defense is stepping up here late in the first half, as there is a handoff. Looks like Max Scott.
Scott with his 3rd carry of the game. He's going to rumble for about 6 yards, it looks like.
Good pickup on first down, but the clock is going to run.
Down to a minute right now as the 2nd and 4. They're going to get the ball snapped quickly. No, they're not. They're going to look at the sideline for another audible.
Not using a
burning
timeout
an
here.
Additional 5 or 10 seconds.
All right, Jantz has the play. In the backfield is Scott, but Jantz able to find Braden Higgins, and a good job by Braden Higgins making the catch and then going out of bounds to stop the clock with 46 seconds left.
Higgins was on an island over there at the top of your screen. Let's look at this. Great ball by Colton Jantz. Can't really see it in that frame there, but good route by Braden Higgins. Does a great job of getting out of bounds to stop the clock, picking up the chains. Defenders seem to be worried about him beating them deep, so they kept everything in front and really allowed for that first down to be picked up almost.
1st and 10 on the Sabercats' own 30-yard line. Still 70 yards to go with only 46 seconds left in the half. They do still have 2 timeouts, though. Jantz gets the snap, looking left, hit in his blind side, but gets the ball out to Caleb Camping, and he gets out of bounds. Picks up
about 5. Clock stops with 39 seconds remaining.
That was a pretty
Looking at this
efficient play.
Out of bounds after a 5-yard.
Yeah, a lot of great coverage downfield by Legacy. They've done a great job of bracketing Eli Swanson and Braden Higgins, those deep threats. And keep in mind, we still haven't seen Gavin Zanatelli return to the field after his re-injuring of that shoulder.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Josh Stetz so far in the replacement of Gavin Zanatelli.
So maybe they're really just worried about being beat deep here, and they're going to let him have everything underneath. 39 seconds, 2nd and 5, snap.
Jantz drops back, fires across the middle of the field. Good catch by Caleb Camping. Still not brought down.
He needs to go down. It's not worth fighting for that extra yard when you can when that just burned 5 seconds. Let's look at this replay. Great job finding a soft spot in the zone, though, sitting his route down. Picks up 3 with that lowering his shoulder, but he needs to go down right before that. Clock is valuable here, although Fossil Ridge does have 2 timeouts, one of which they are going to use right here.
So exactly half the field to go with about half the time they started this drive with. 31 seconds left in the half as they talk things over in this timeout. This is an important drive for Fossil's offense as they're hoping to at least get 3 points.
We saw a couple of drives last week for Fossil Ridge where they were fighting against the clock, and every single one of those drives, they wound up looking deep for Eli Swanson to make an electric play. Let's see if they do that again here. They're going to come set and look to snap the ball.
Eli Swanson on the bottom of your screen, 4 receivers out wide. Jansen the shotgun, looks right, fires right. Braden Higgins wasn't ready for the pass, it looked like.
Didn't get his head around quite quick enough. Did have a good route. Great job getting separation. We've seen a lot of good stuff out of him today, especially underneath. His route running ability is really good, but we would love to see him come down with that catch.
That would have picked up 10 yards, but instead they're still on the 50-yard line with 27 seconds. That play didn't take too much time off the clock as Jantz got the ball out quickly. But 27 seconds, still not a lot of time at all. Still a timeout in the pocket of the Sabercats. Jansen the shotgun.
3 safeties deep for this Legacy team. They're not going to get beat deep.
Looks left, rolls out left, and he finds a man. Good catch, toe tap by Eli Swanson on the sideline.
Spectacular catch there, really, but it's not going to wind up meaning much. He only picks up about 4 and burns about 6 seconds.
First I thought he was just going to throw it away, but Eli Swanson able to make his way back, coming back towards the line of scrimmage, and Jantz finds him on the sideline, so a pickup nonetheless.
This 3 safety look that Legacy keeps running out is keeping everything deep covered. I would love to see Fossil Ridge run a post or a dig underneath across this middle. Looking at Eli Swanson here again with that spectacular catch. We looked at this graphic earlier. He's been a real playmaker for this team. He's got 681 total yards. Again, that yards a game is off. He's up somewhere more up around 100.
Jantz looking across the middle of the field, finds Caleb Camping, and they're probably going to use their last timeout, as it's a good pickup by Caleb Camping. Once again, fighting for extra yards. 13 seconds remaining. And they do use their last timeout, so they'll talk things over. They have the ball on the 35-yard line. This has been a pretty good drive so far, considering how much time they had to start this drive.
We've seen the kicker on the sidelines warming up his leg, taking some big kicks. I wonder if they're going to look to maybe get a post to the outside, get out of bounds around the 20, and try and take 3 here to take the lead at halftime.
Yeah, it's either that or just taking a shot to the end zone.
Although this cover 3 look that we have seen from Legacy has done a great job of keeping that really out of the realm of possibility.
If they were to go deep, they would most likely be looking at either Eli Swanson or big tight end Caleb Camping, who has the height advantage over pretty much everyone who he lines up against.
Keep in mind, though, no timeouts now. They did burn those 2. I don't think it was a bad use of them, but if there is a catch in the middle of the field that picks up the chains, they're going to have to run the kicking out team out onto the field with the clock running eventually. So they're going to be looking to get out of bounds, most likely.
Jantz on his own 35-yard line in the shotgun. Steps up in the pocket, takes off, And he goes down, but that takes a lot of clock.
5
off,
seconds
doesn't get
left,
the first
4
down.
seconds left, 3 seconds left. This is going to completely run off.
Yeah, and that takes us to the half. So not the best clock management there. Not a great decision by Colton Jantz. He did have some room to run, but he's unable to pick up the first down, so the clock does not stop momentarily, and they're unable to spike the ball to stop the clock. So it does take us to halftime.
Very interesting first half we've seen here. They're going to go in tied 7-7 each. We've seen 4 fourth down turnovers, 2 by each squad. An incredible special teams play by Fossil Ridge. Special teams debauchery on one play by Legacy. We have seen an electric 80-yard touchdown from the arm of Andrew Gardner, passing it deep to Peyton Studebaker.
Because we've won over $1 billion with our clients. As for the competition, there's a reason each year more people in Colorado are calling Backus and Chase for help on their injury case. So if you're hurt in an accident or injured at work, call me 24/7 at 222-2222. Let us work for the win in your case. Backus and Chase, our passion is justice.
Your car deserves a better routine, so keep it clean with unlimited wash packages at Breeze Through Car Wash. And don't just clean the outside, keep the inside of your car clean with free vacuums at Breeze Through. Just choose a location in northern Colorado or in southern Wyoming and feel great about your day. At Breeze Through Car Wash, easy, quick, and fun.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend, Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Deserves a better routine, so keep it clean with unlimited wash packages at Breeze Through Car Wash. And don't just clean the outside, keep the inside of your car clean with free vacuums at Breeze Through. Just choose a location in northern Colorado or in southern Wyoming and feel great about your day. At Breeze Through Car Wash, easy, quick, and fun.
High School Marching Band. The Fossil Ridge Marching Band is a 7-time Colorado 5A state champion and the reigning state title holder. The band is the 2024 Bands of America New Mexico Region overall champion and will perform at the 2025 Bands of America Super Regional Contest in St. Louis later this month. The band's final competition of the season will be at the state championships on October 25th in Colorado Springs. Good luck, Fossil Ridge. Now, please direct your attention to the field and enjoy this year's show, Sirocco. Let's hear it one more time for the Fossil Ridge Marching Band. The band program would like to thank our platinum sponsors, Ken Garf Ford, as well as our gold sponsors, Epic Financial Group and Eagle Craft Construction, for their support of our band students. We would also like to thank our band parents, community members, fans, Mr. Carlucci, and alumni for their continued support of our students. From the tennis courts, the number 5 boys tennis team upsets number 4 Grandview 4-3 to advance to the final 4 in the team bracket. Let's wish good luck to the boys golf team as they head to state at Grand Junction at Book Cliff Country Club. We've got Landon Hushka, Judd Nickel, and Jonah Kent representing Fossil Ridge.
Welcome back to PSD Stadium. I'm Henry Goots.
I'm Trace Hand.
And we're at halftime here in an incredible game so far. It's tied 7-7 in the Fossil Ridge Sabercats versus the Legacy Lightning. We've seen some big plays. We've seen some catastrophic mistakes. And we've seen some players really stand out. Who stood out to you so far?
Peyton Studebaker has been a big weapon out wide for the Legacy Lightning. He's had a lot of opportunities down the field, especially the big 80-yard touchdown to Studebaker on that 3rd and 18. So that has obviously made a huge difference, as that is the lone score for Legacy Lightning.
I definitely agree with that. He's made a lot of plays. He's also had a lot of opportunities downfield, 1 or 2 actually, where his quarterback has missed him, underthrown on one, overthrown on the other. He's really made these safeties and DBs on this Fossil Ridge team think a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I've also been looking at Eli Swanson. He's that wide receiver for Fossil Ridge that they keep going back to. He had 11 receptions, 188 yards, and 2 touchdowns last game. And he's not quite on that pace right now, but he's got a lot of yards. They've looked his way a lot. And the defense has really been looking his way a lot, too. I've seen double and even triple coverage in his direction a lot of times.
Yeah, also Braden Higgins, huge role in that first half, obviously with the touchdown. So that is why the score is tied 7-7. In my opinion, the score doesn't necessarily reflect the production by both of these offenses, as they have been able to get drives going. They've just been unable to capitalize at the end of the drives as they stall on 4th downs and big turnovers.
Yeah, we've seen 4 4th down turnovers, 2 from each of these squads. We saw 2 4th and long turnovers from Fossil Ridge's offense. We saw 1 4th and long turnover from Legacy's offense, and then they went to punt it on one of their drives. The snap went past the punter. He bobbled it again, pushed it back a few more yards again, jumped on it, tried to throw it, but at that point he was tackled at about the 20 of in their own territory, when the punt would have wound up at the 20 of Fossil Ridge's territory. That was an incredible play. That's a 60-yard shift in a special teams play that really maybe not a lot of people were expecting. We also saw that 80-yard touchdown catch from Peyton Studebaker. And yeah, we've seen a lot of explosive game-changing type scenarios from both of these teams.
Yeah. So the student section buckled up and ready to start this second half as the teams are on the field warming up, getting ready to go, with just over a minute until the action.
We're going to be looking at Gavin Zanatelli, who is still not come back into the game after re-injuring his shoulder. I'm looking for him on the sidelines, and he has his pads and helmet off, which is a pretty much surefire sign that he won't be coming back into today's game. He's been a talented sophomore wide receiver for this Fossil Ridge squad. Wide receiver 2, he's shown a ton of potential, and that's going to be some guy that they're missing a lot. And they're already without their star running back, Will Huff.
Yeah, so Josh Stetz coming in at the end of the first half, filling in for Gavin Zanatelli, and so far the entire game, it's been a combination of Max Scott and Damian Masters to fill the hole of Will Huff.
Yeah, we really haven't seen the production from them that we would have seen from Will Huff up to this point in the game. Will Huff is a guy that not only is a fan favorite, he gets it done on the field. The first tackler never gets him down, and a lot of times not the second as well. He combines his agility with his speed and his power, and Max Scott and Damian Masters are going to have to pick up their game a little bit if they're going to fill his roster spot. We've seen some good power runs from Max Scott and some good flashes of elusiveness from Damian Masters, but really not enough to make a difference so far.
Yeah, taking another look at Josh Stetz, he has been big on both sides of the ball. He's been targeted a couple times on offense, filling in the hole for Gavin Zanatelli, but he has also been tested deep against Peyton Studebaker on that legacy offense, and he has had a lot of success other than one big deep shot to Studebaker for the touchdown. But other than that, he's been really, really good on the defensive side of the ball as well.
We've really seen both of these quarterbacks get the ball out quick, which is something that the fans and the coaches, I'm sure, love to see from Colton Jantz. His production has been at its very greatest when he's getting that ball out quick, getting it out underneath usually, and taking some deep shots occasionally. His completion percentage has been really high these past few games, and he's had really some great performances, even if the statistics haven't jumped off the pages necessarily.
Yeah.
The getting the ball out quick and high completion percentage also goes for Andrew Gardner. He's done a great job. He's thrown a lot of underneath and screens. They've done a lot of motion type yards after catch plays that you really see out of like a Will Stein coached offense in college football with those Oregon Ducks. Something that has been proven to be really productive, and I'd honestly like to see them go back to that a little bit more because it's worked really well.
Yeah, another guy I'd like to look at on the Fossil Ridge defensive side of things is Crew Isom. We've mentioned his name a lot of times so far in this game, and I would assume he'll continue to step up in big ways in the second half, as Fossil is getting ready to kick the ball off.
Another guy to look for on that Fossil Ridge defense would be Adriel Hernandez or Braun Southworth. Braun Southworth had a very, very big sack earlier in this game. Kind of got in the quarterback's head, if I'm really being honest. He lowered his shoulder. What could have been, honestly, classified as a targeting hit, but it goes down in the books as just a great physical sack, and Andrew Gardner's going to be thinking about him coming off the edge every play from here on out.
All right, Braden Higgins onto the field, ready to kick it off deep.
Higgins with the one receiving touchdown for the Sabercats earlier in this game. He did a great job on that hitch and then got some yards after catch, burned the DB around the outside and got to the pylon. Really good red zone play from him earlier in this game. We've also seen some great outside route running from him earlier in this game, and he's going to kick off this ball with his soccer background.
So Morales and Studebaker inside their own 5-yard line, ready to hope to return this kick from Braden Higgins. Kick is up and the second half is underway. It goes to Studebaker. He takes it out from inside his own 5-yard line. Has a hole.
He's got a lot of room.
Lots of blocking. Great return there inside the 40-yard line.
Tackle was made by the kicker there. He had a lot of great blocks and a lot of speed. He's not a small guy either. Let's look at this replay here. Makes a cut, gets through some arm tackles, has a lot of great blocks. Good job by Braden there to get him down and out of bounds, prevent that from being a touchdown on that first play of the half as we see this Legacy offense come out onto the field.
Yeah, and Peyton Studemaker just immediately making an impact in the second half. As there is a give to Morton. Morton aggressively running to the outside, and he finds a hole.
Legacy coming out with a little bit of pizzazz here in this second half. They've got a lot of energy. There's only been 2 plays, but both of them they've seemed to be running quicker, playing harder. I don't know what Coach said in the locker room, but they seem to have a lot of energy right now. Maybe got a Red Bull in their system, but they look like a little bit different of a team.
Yeah, that was great aggressive running there by Aiden Morton. As it's a 1st and 10. Already in the Sabercats territory. Tight end in motion. It's another give to Morton. He looks left this time and looked like he had a little bit of room, but great open field tackling there. Looks like it was Ozzie Maccabee on the tackle.
Looking at this instant replay here, I want you guys to watch 85, that tight end at the top of your screen, getting some great blocks on the edge. That's Joey Jewett. He's been a difference maker from this tight end and DN position. He's really probably the most talented athleticism-wise guy we've seen on their team so far.
So a pickup of a little over a yard, and it's going to be a 2nd and a short 9. Gardner drops back.
Oh, he's hit.
Fires across the middle, and that's Studemaker again. This time not much of a pickup. Call it 1 yard. It's going to set up a 3rd and long.
Got the ball out underneath, picked up 2. Let's look at this instant replay. Crew Isom coming off around the edge there, made him get the ball out a little bit quicker than he probably would have hoped. Hit the drag route underneath, somewhat of a check down there. Going to set up a 3rd and 8, which is definitely not where they want to be. Definitely not on schedule. Let's see what they do.
So it's been all Studebaker and Morton in this second half so far. We'll see who Gardner looks at on this 3rd down, as it's another give to Morton. Bounces off tacklers, and he makes his way, rumbling, picks up the 1st down. Great
How did he
aggressive
stay
running.
on his feet that long? That was a great run there. Got some great blocks on that edge, got out into space, and I thought he was going to go down for sure. Let's look at this instant replay. Gets onto the edge. Great blocks by that O-line. Front 7 completely eaten up. Missed tackle from that secondary. And then looks like 5 or 6 defenders is what it took to get him on the ground. He got 3 or 4 extra yards, which was the difference in picking up the chains there at the end of that run.
Yeah, he did a great job cutting back and staying in bounds as well to pick up the 1st down, as it is now a 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line. Fake to Morton. This time it's a screen to the outside. That was Devin Kercheval.
Crew Isom with the tackle there. We've really seen a lot of tackles from him. He hasn't performed necessarily spectacularly in the first few games, but today he's made a lot of tackles, tracks him down there using his speed. But that was just a great play call from this Legacy offense. They've done a lot of wide receiver screens, and that one worked perfectly. And they're going to have a 1st and 10 here from their own 20, or from Fossil Ridge's 20.
They do the same exact play, it looks like. This time, not nearly as much on the pickup. Looks like it was a pickup of 3 for Kercheval.
Julius Perez, that other linebacker, sniffed that out pretty well. I mean, they'd seen the same play the play before, so good job by him getting over there and making that tackle.
So here's the first look for Legacy in the red zone of the second half.
Safety low here for Fossil Ridge. Legacy could look to beat him deep.
Gardner gives to Morton, and he has a lot of room, wide open, green grass, and he finds his way into the end zone. And that's a perfect start to the second half for Legacy.
Great drive from Legacy, like we were talking about. They came out with energy and enthusiasm. Every time that they had the ball in their hands, they looked like they were going to score. Beating the linebacker around the edge, incredible blocks downfield. Look at that. They have a tight end and an O-lineman all the way down inside the 5-yard line on those blocks. Nothing but green grass there. Really only because of the blocking. Great job to those guys on Legacy.
Legacy with a 6-point lead. Extra point is up. Now it's a 7-point lead for the Lightning.
That is their first lead of the game. Fossil Ridge was the first team to score. Legacy answered back on the next drive with that 80-yard touchdown. And this is the first time we've seen the score change since then. Legacy now up 14-7. We've got 8 minutes and 31 seconds left in this third quarter. Looking at our student section here, trying to make a difference here in this game. A student section can really get in the head of the opponent a lot of times, and in a game like this where it's an obvious home game for Fossil Ridge, no fans really able to make the trek out all the way out here to Fort Collins. So Fossil Ridge is the only team with a student section that can try and make a difference. Love to see them get involved. Swanson back deep to return it again. He is solo here.
So now the Sabercats get their first chance in the second half, as it does go to Swanson, but it goes a little left. And
it's out of bounds. It's out of bounds. That gives them the ball at the 40. Wow, we talked about this earlier on the first kickoff of the game. When that ball goes out of bounds on a kickoff, the receiving team can automatically choose to take the ball at the 40-yard line. So if that ball had taken maybe a lucky bounce as it did on that first kickoff and gone on the other side of the pylon, that ball's at the 20. If you think about that, that's just a 20-yard play on offense. Really something to get excited about.
So it looks like they actually are getting the ball at the 35-yard line. Rules a little different than college and NFL here in high school. But great field position nonetheless. First drive of the second half for the Sabercats. Jansen, the shotgun, looking left, fires across the middle of the field, and it's picked off! Picked off by number 4, Joshua Rowan, and he's still up. Cuts across the field.
Rumbling.
Still not down. Brought down inside the 10-yard line. And a huge play for this Legacy Lightning defense.
Let's look at this replay. Looking across the middle at Eli Swanson, that's what he was doing. Really not a great throw. Eli Swanson never really had a chance to catch that ball. Threw it straight to the defender. He does a great job on the return, getting them all the way down inside the 10-yard line. This is a pretty much surefire opportunity for Legacy to take a 2-score lead.
And I can't imagine many better situations for Legacy to be in to start this second half.
Looking back at that route there, it looked like Eli Swanson was grabbed a little bit, causing him to fall behind, and that throw to go out in front, maybe a missed call by the referees there.
So a 1st and goal for Legacy.
It's not going to wind up mattering here, as they have the ball at the 7-yard line, it appears.
Man in motion. Gardner looks out to him. Huge hit. Collision
Popped by Stets there.
Looks like Stets and Adriel Hernandez.
Going to pick up about 2 there, but that's all you need when you're set up this close to the end zone. Like we were talking about earlier, that's one of those motion plays with rack ability that we've seen a lot from this offensive coordinator. And they've worked really well when they have been called, and they've been getting good blocks.
Yeah, they've been looking at Kercheval a lot this second half, so we'll see what they do on this 2nd and goal. As he fires across the middle, it looks like it was deflected at the line. Intended for Joey Jewett, but it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Passes that are deflected up often lead to turnovers. Sorry, definitely not always, as we saw there. That ball landed in a zone out there where nobody was, a little bit of a no man's land. Lucky for that Legacy offense that was not a turnover.
Yeah, absolutely, and they have another opportunity to still add to this lead on a 3rd and goal.
Island coverage at the top of your screen.
It's a give to Morton, who's met in the backfield but doesn't get brought down until he makes it to the line of scrimmage. So a big stop on 3rd down.
Let's see what this Legacy team chooses to do. Quarterback is still on the field, which might be signaling that they're going for it.
Morton comes up cramping a little bit.
Not sure if this is an
I think it's going to be an injury timeout.
They're definitely going to talk this over. They've got a big decision to make here. Go for this 4th and 6, or kick this field goal and try and go up 2 scores. I know personally, if I were the coach, that's what I do. 2-score leads are something that you're always looking for. And although it's not a given that he would make it, it is a chip shot field goal. Anything can happen at the high school level, but I would like to see the coach go for this field goal, not the down, of course.
Yeah, we haven't seen a field goal attempt yet in the game.
but we have seen a lot of 4th down attempts, none of which have gone well at all.
Yeah, seriously.
Morton able to walk off here. Appears to have just been a cramp, so he will be okay. He does have to set out a play here, which could be big if they choose to go for it.
Looks like the quarterback is coming back onto the field, so they will be going for it.
Andrew Gardner is on the field, so they're going for this 4th and 6. Not sure if I necessarily agree with this decision, but it could be game-changing. There's a mismatch at the top of your screen there. That might be the direction they're looking in.
Gardner drops back, looks to the back end of the end zone, but the catch is made, but I think he was out of bounds, and he was. It was Studebaker.
Let's look at this replay. Was at the top of the screen like I was talking about, and he just doesn't get a foot down. Adriel Hernandez in coverage. Ball led him a little bit too far. He was open, but you would like to see the ball go a little bit more laterally than vertically there.
So a huge stop for the Sabercats defense, able to bail out their offense a little bit and keep the score where it was before that costly turnover.
This offense is going to come right back out onto the field. Two wideout set at the top of your screen.
So
only
Jance,
3 down linemen for
Jance
this legacy defense.
On his own 1-yard line. Fires to the right side of the field and almost picked again.
Too much air under that ball. That needs to be on a line. You can't have it float like that. Great short area quickness from Dane Morales at corner there. Let's look at this again.
Yeah, that ball was just a little behind Eli Swanson.
That was a pick 6 waiting to happen. Colton Jance, I would love to see you put a little bit more RPMs on that ball. Try and get that into Eli more quickly. When it floats in the air like that, that really gives the defense an opportunity to try and jump the route, which is exactly what happened. Lucky that that was not caught and returned for an easy touchdown.
Yeah, so seemingly another break for the Sabercats as they get another opportunity here on 2nd and 10, trying to make something happen.
Whistle blown, and there's a flag. I'm not sure if it was a timeout or a flag. The flag came out of a pocket.
Is this good?
Looking at Colton Jance, this is how his season has gone so far. He's got 977 passing yards, which translates to 162.8 per game. He has those 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. We would love to see him stop turning the ball over so much, but he is a young quarterback. The first few games did not go super well for him. He has improved greatly since then. Last week he had 350 passing yards. As we said, he's a sophomore. He's a young guy. He's great when he gets the ball out quick, which is what he's been doing these past few games. We've seen some big improvements from him, and he has a very bright future. All the arm talent in the world.
Yeah, so we saw a flag fly on the previous play. Well, I guess it wasn't a play, but they were lined up. But I believe the Sabercats called a timeout before the penalty applied. So it will still be a 2nd and 10. Colton
Spirit
Jance,
leaders and cheer and dance team trying to get this student section a little bit more hyped up.
Jance still on his 1-yard line. Gives the ball, I think it's Damian Masters.
He's still fighting, but he's really just going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Sorry, that was actually Max Scott on that carry.
He is the more power back type that we're going to see, and it is going to be a gain of nothing. 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. We got a 3rd and long here for this Fossil Ridge offense. They have not done a great job of picking up the chains when they get behind schedule. So we'll see what they can do here. This is an obvious punt if they do not pick it up. 4 wide receivers set. Looks like they're going to pass it, but they might try and fool us.
Jan's still in the shotgun on this 3rd and 10. Drops back into his own end zone, fires to the sideline. Diving attempt on the sideline by Eli Swanson, just a little off the mark, unable to haul it in.
Not happy that he dropped that at all as Eli Swanson, but that throw was quite off the mark. Not something that anyone should be expected to catch, but I do love to see that effort. Let's look at this replay. Good read from Colton. Just gets the ball out maybe a little bit later than you would have hoped. Not a ton of room for Swanson to make that grab.
So now camping, punting from deep in his own end zone.
Returner set up at midfield.
Punt is off. It's not a great one, but it does get a good bounce right into the returner's hands. What a block. And there's a great return down the sideline. That's Austin Woods on the return.
Drew Cipher got lit up there. Great hit on that block. He's seeing stars for sure. Let's look at this instant replay. Great block coming across the field. That was Dane Morales. And a great return upfield. Even better blocks downfield. They're going to get the ball at about the 25-yard line. Special teams always makes a difference. Something that gets slept on a lot. Not a lot of energy surrounding special teams, but that's where a lot of yards are picked up.
So again, Legacy is lining up to start their drive from inside the Fossil Ridge 30-yard line. Great field position once again. Last drive unable to capitalize, but we'll see what they do here as there's a give up the middle to Morton. Brought down after a pickup of about 4 yards.
Good carry there from Morton. Staying on schedule. You love to see 4 yards on first down, especially when it's a run. This offense had an opportunity, an incredible opportunity last possession, but they didn't get anything from it. Great goal line stand from that Fossil Ridge defense. Let's look at, they're looking to go up 2 scores again here is Legacy's offense.
Gardner, another give to Morton, this time met in the backfield. Great
Braun
play.
Southworth. We've said his name kind of a lot tonight. He's made a lot of big plays. He had a sack earlier. He's had a couple TFLs. Great job coming off of the edge right there. He's a great piece at outside linebacker who has really come into his own these past few games.
Yeah,
looking at this replay, look at him fighting through some blocks, sticking his arm in the face of those O-linemen, and he plays physical, and he gets the running back on the ground for a loss of 2.
So a big loss.
Excuse me, loss of 6.
Yeah, a big loss of 6 to set up a 3rd and 12. Gardner fakes the handoff this time, fires deep to the end zone, but overthrows his man, looking for Studebaker again. And they have had that opportunity to throw his way, and he has been open deep many times this game.
That is the 4th deep ball we've seen them throw in his direction. They've only connected once, but he's been open on all 4. I would love to see Andrew Gardner connect on a few of those more to pick up those plays. Let's look at this. Just to look at that. About a stride of separation, and the ball was overthrown an additional stride. That's not going to be a touchdown. And they are going to stay on the field for this 4th and 12.
So the defense has really stepped up so far for the Sabercats as they were able to stop them, get a turnover on downs on this first drive, and another 4th down attempt as Gardner looks deep again, and the same thing. Studebaker open deep, overthrown by Andrew Gardner.
Studebaker really showcasing his speed. All these deep balls, he seems to just run by guys, and that's the 4th time he's been missed deep. Look at that. I mean, looked like a mirror image of the play before.
So actually they moved backwards on that drive.
I am certain that Legacy's head coach and offensive coordinator are dumbfounded and just angry that they haven't gotten any points on these last 2 drives. They had a drive start from the 6 and now a drive start in Fossil Ridge's territory, and they've got 0 points out of it. Keeping this game at 1 score in difference.
So after the first score of the second half, both offenses really not being able to do anything at all. As here's Jance looking to get that turned around. It's a give to Scott, and Scott
fighting,
still moving, but he's brought down after actually a pretty decent pickup of about 5 yards.
Looks like a generous spot. Yeah, 5-yard pickup. Not sure if he got quite that far, but that was a great job fighting. Looking at that play right there. As we talked about, he's that power alternative, and he picks up 5 there, keeping him on schedule.
So 2nd and 5 with just over 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
3 wide receivers and 1 tight end out here on the field.
Jansen the shotgun. It's another give to Scott. This time Scott tries the right side out, and he is brought down after a pickup of 2 yards.
Setting up a 3rd and 3. 3rd and manageable is what you love to see if you're an offensive coordinator.
Really important.
Not a place
down
that Fossil Ridge has been in their unsuccessful drive, so that's a good sign.
Big 3rd down here for the offense, trying to build some momentum, get something going in the second half for the first time. 3rd and 3 with Scott still in the backfield. Jantz looks left, finds Scott out of the backfield, and he has room to pick up the first down and get inside to about the 42. Yeah, the 42-yard line.
Looks like they're going to spot him right at the 42, like you said. Let's look at this instant replay. Great job. He has room ahead of him, loses that linebacker, runs through an arm tackle, and gets an additional 2 yards through a body tackle. Great power shown there from that big running back. Picking up the chains. He got all 10 of those yards for the first down on 3 separate plays. And he's still in the backfield here on this 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for Jantz. And it's another give to Scott. Makes the first man miss and makes a great move. Burst of speed to pick up 7 yards. Great play on 1st down.
Clock is going to dwindle down to 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter. And what we've really seen so far is, well, especially on this drive, is Max Scott filling that role of Will Huff. Will Huff, that star running back that Fossil Ridge is missing. We did not see much running production from Fossil Ridge in the first half, but this drive, it's been all Max Scott. Love to see that. Legacy man down on the field, injured here. Hard to tell who it is. No concerned body language, probably just a cramp.
Yeah, all the trainers tending to it. Hard to tell who it is. Can't see a number. But he does get up. Looks like it's number 29. That's Austin Woods.
His helmet is off. He will have to sit out at least 1 play before coming back in. That is the rule with injuries.
He's able to get off the field under his own power, which is good to see.
2nd and 3 set up here for this Fossil Ridge offense. Done a good job staying ahead of the chains here.
Sabercats have the ball just shy of midfield.
Trips at the top of your screen with Eli Swanson by himself at the bottom.
Jansen the shotgun, and it's another give to Scott, who has a lot of room, picks up the first down and plenty more.
They're going to keep it with the hot hand. That's Scott again. That's been a bunch of plays in a row. I think that's been about 5 or 6. He's just picked up yard after yard. Looking at him here. Big hole up the middle. Great job by the O-line. Good tackle by that Legacy linebacker. Great job getting him on the ground. He's a hard guy to bring down, especially when he has a head of steam like that.
1st and 10 on the 43 for Jantz. Fakes the give to Scott this time, and really just looked like a miscommunication between him and Caleb Camping.
Looked to me like Braden McGinnis at the top of your screen had a lot of open space ahead of him. I wonder if Jantz is going to see that in the film room tomorrow and wonder if he should have thrown it in that direction. Let's look at this replay. Just seemingly a miscue there. Looking for that big tight end, Caleb Camping. And they are now set up for a 2nd and 10. First time the ball hasn't gone to Max Scott in quite a while.
Another 2nd and long for the offense. Jantz pitches it out to Scott, but that goes nowhere as the entire team tackles him in the backfield.
Yeah, defense read that really well. That'll be about a loss of 3. They had about 3 or 4 defenders right there to make that tackle. No chance anyone's getting through that. And this is a 3rd and 13. First time they've been behind the chains on this drive. I wonder if we'll see him go for it on 4th, though, if they don't pick this up. We have seen 6 unsuccessful 4th down attempts in this game from both teams.
We're going to pick up at least some yardage, probably trying to get at least half of it back here as Colton Jantz fires to the left side again off the mark. He had Eli Swanson open, just unable to connect with him, and they don't get anything on that third down, so that will bring the punt unit out.
Swanson clearly frustrated, throwing his hands up in the air. Let's look at this replay. Just missed him by a significant amount there. They're going to go talk between themselves about what happened there. Both guys clearly flustered.
And with a pass off the mark across the middle of the field, certainly lucky that it's not picked off.
Definitely, especially when it doesn't get touched at all. Punt.
Camping gets the punt off after a low snap, but it's a good punt, actually. And Sabercats are able to corral him at about the 16-yard line.
Good tackle by 99 Cohen Saunders. He's a big boy getting downfield and making that stop. Let's look at this replay. Pinches him against that sideline, gives him no room to go anywhere. Great tackle from Cohen.
So the first time that Legacy has not had good field position in this second half, but they really haven't done anything with their good field position they've had so far. So they're looking to change things, but they have a lot of yardage to go. 1st and 10, and the Sabercats jump off sides. Not sure if they were drawn off sides by a false start maybe, but it looks like they just jumped off sides on their own.
Yeah, that's going to give the offense a few extra yards here. Set them up with a 1st and 5. Yeah, all 3 guys on that down lineman set jumped, so I'm sure there was a hard count of some sort that they've been setting up all game.
Yeah, Gardner in the backfield now on a 1st and 5. It's a give to Morton, who's been getting a lot of the workload recently. He gets the outside edge and able to pick up the 1st down and about 5 more yards after it.
We've seen some hard running from 22 in this second half. Let's look at him here. Great blocks on that edge. Joey Jouett, someone who we've seen make some great blocks in that tight end position, and he gets all the way up to the 30-yard line. Stiff arms a guy into the ground.
Aiden Morton's running form reminds me a lot of Isaiah Pacheco.
I was about to say that exact same thing.
Super aggressive, like he's mad almost.
He's looked really good here in this second half.
Yeah, 1st and 10. And it's a fake to Morton. This time it's another screen out to Kirchevel. Looks like he comes up limping a little bit.
Had some room ahead of him, but he steps out of bounds. He's cramping. He's going to try and make it. He can't even make it back onto the field. He's down on the Fossil Ridge sideline. That's going to stop this clock with 31 seconds remaining in this quarter. Hopefully that's just a cramp for his sake. Never want to see people go down with injuries.
And we've seen that exact play a lot in this game to Kirchevel. Just a little dump off.
He has been good with the ball in his hands. He has shown and showcased his rack ability all night.
Yeah, and
rack or run after catch is something that this offense is heavily reliant on and has shown a great ability to really capitalize with.
On that play, it looked like he could have gotten a lot more yardage if he didn't get injured. I'm not sure if it's just a cramp or hopefully it's not something more serious than a cramp, but he is limping all the way across the field to his own sideline. So that's going to take that play call out of the playbook for at least one play.
Both teams got a chance to talk over this 1st and 10 as this Legacy offense comes out, and they're going to try and pick up a few to stay on schedule. Adriel Hernandez down at corner on the bottom of your screen. He's played a lot of safety tonight. He does play majority corner usually, but it's nice to see him down there on this snap.
Gardner on a 1st and 10. Another give to Morton. Morton likes the left side this time. Brought down by Braden Higgins after a good pickup of about 7 yards.
We've seen this power O style run to the opposing hash a lot tonight, especially in the second half. Great running, following his blocks, gets through 2 arm tackles and finally brought down. Great tackle there. but it is going to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
So this is interesting. It looks like Braden Higgins is actually filling in the role of the free safety right now for the moment, as there's a timeout. Timeout called on before the 2nd and 3.
Fourth quarter is going to start here with a 2nd and 3, like you just said. 14-7 for this Legacy team. They're going to look and make this a 2-score lead here in the fourth quarter. 2-score leads in the fourth quarter, usually really hard to overcome if you're on the losing side of that. We have seen the second half be really, yardage-wise, lopsidedly in favor of Legacy. Very surprised to see that they only have scored 7 points. They really should have scored, at the very least, 7 more.
Yeah, they've been set up in amazing field position aside from this drive, which they are driving down the field pretty well here. And they're facing a 2nd and 3 with 12 minutes left of football in this game.
2nd and 3.
So Morton to Gardner's right in the backfield. It's a give to Morton, and this time absolutely nothing behind the line of scrimmage, brought down for a loss of 3.
Crew Isom with another tackle there. He and Braun Southworth have really been the 2 names to pay attention to on this defense so far.
Yeah, Crew Isom serving as an absolute spark on this defensive side of the ball.
Each of them with a couple of important TFLs, and Braun Southworth with a very important sack. That was a loss of 4. Here comes a 3rd and 7 from this Legacy team. Very impactful play.
3rd and 7 on the 47-yard line as Gardner gives the ball to the middle of the field.
I don't think he got the chains. I don't know if he got the chains.
He did not pick up enough yardage as Drew Cipher brings him down just short of the sticks, and that will bring a change in unit out.
Interesting. We've seen them go for 4th and longs all night, but all of a sudden they're here in a 4th and 1, and they're not going to go for it, at least given the set that they have out there right now. Potential to see a fake. We've seen a couple of fake fakes. Interesting way to say that, but we might see a fake for real this time.
So it's not a punt.
But there is no quarterback in the game.
Looks like Morton on the direct snap, and he picks it up with ease. Still moving down to the 35-yard line. Great play call by Legacy.
That's the first 4th down conversion we have seen tonight. Teams are now combined for 1 of 7. Not a great stat if you're an offensive coordinator.
So actually, Andrew Gardner is going to stay out of the field, and it's just going to be a direct snap to Morton again. They liked how that first one went.
Same play, different side here.
They're not going to like this one as much, as it's only a pickup of 2, and Gardner comes running back onto the field.
Very common Wildcat play we're seeing here, a kind of power run to the opposite hash. We have a man down here. That is Dane Hayes, the senior linebacker, out here on offense for some blocking, and he's going to go down. Hate to see that. He's getting stretched out for a cramp. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. These last 2 plays we've seen them run are a Wildcat look that we see from the likes of Kendall Briles, the offensive coordinator at TCU, giving the ball to Savion Williams. It's been a very effective play at the collegiate level, and it's working here in high school too.
Yeah, big pickup on 4th down there as they decide not to punt it. Try the same thing on 1st and 10. Not nearly the same outcome, but still a pickup of 2 to set up a 2nd and 8. Points here on this drive would be huge for the Lightning, as it would force Fossil Ridge, who really has shown no signs of being able to go down the field in this second half. They would need to score 2 times in not a lot of time.
Let's see if Andrew Gardner is now back out on the field. They're going away from that Wildcat set that they ran for back-to-back plays.
Gardner gives to Morton up the middle. This time he finds a lot of room to the left side.
There is laundry on the field, though.
Great pickup if it stands.
Rumbles down to the 15. Great hard running, as we have seen a lot of this second half from Morton.
Would be a first down, but the chains are not moving yet.
Yeah, they're going to run it right back to where they started and probably a little bit more behind that. Probably a holding call somewhere on that run play against Legacy. Interesting, illegal motion. Not a play you see that often.
So not a huge loss, as it's a loss of 5 yards and a repeat down. But now it's a 2nd and 13 from behind the sticks.
Huddling up for this play here, this 2nd and 13. Fossil Ridge really needing a stop. This clock has dwindled all the way down to 9 minutes. And oh no!
Sabercats jump
Give it
offsides
right
again.
back.
So that will go right back to a 2nd and 8.
Defense gives it right back to Legacy.
And like you said, you would imagine they've probably been setting that up the entire game up to this point, as they have been drawn offsides 2 times in this drive.
Second time that we have seen that, like you've said, both on hard counts. They've definitely been setting that up all game.
Gardner gives to Morton. Morton, more energy, bounces off tacklers, finds his way out to the left sideline.
Forced out of bounds by Braden Higgins.
Just short of the first down.
Look at this replay. Look at him follow his blocks. Look at him stay patient, sit right behind him, bounce it outside, use that speed and strength combo. He has run incredibly this second half.
Absolutely.
He looks like a completely different player. This offense also looks to seems to have a lot more energy elsewhere as well, but he has been the main spark that we've seen in the second half.
So it's a 3rd and 2, and they're looking at the Wildcat to Morton again, who has been the entire offense, and he picks up the first down with ease.
Hard-nosed football all of a sudden here from this Legacy team, and it's working really, really well. Looking at this replay, look at how well these blocks set up to that side. Fossil Ridge probably needing to take a little bit more of a risk there on that play and maybe set up with anticipation as to what they have seen from that Wildcat set. They've run the same play every single time, so I bet you if they come out in that again, we're going to see a little bit of a heavy set on the hash side from this Fossil Ridge defense.
Morton ran off the field there as Chase Combs comes in to be his replacement.
Going to give him a little bit of a break. He's picked up a lot of yards.
Gardner gives to Combs, so they keep it on the ground, and Combs makes a good move and does a good job finding what he can on the ground.
This style of play is also burning a lot of clock, something that might come back into play later in this game. Clock all the way down to 8 minutes left and counting. Remember, when you run the ball, the clock does not stop. So it keeps rolling until you choose to snap it again. That's a strategy that a lot of hard-nosed ground and pound teams that we've seen earlier this season, like Columbine, love to employ.
We did see a couple of red zone stops on the other side of the field for the Sabercats, as this time Gardner keeps it and nobody's with them. Wide open lane into the end zone. Great play call, and there's another touchdown on the ground for Andrew Gardner.
I love that play call. Looking at this instant replay. Fakes it to the running back, gets one big block on that left edge, and everybody in that secondary, including the linebackers, had bit on that give. They'd been burned so much by the run that they just that's all that they were thinking about. Great job by Gardner pulling it down. We've seen his athleticism earlier in the season, and that's his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. He's been a real red zone threat, especially with his legs.
Huge score, as Legacy is now up 21-7 after that extra point was successful. So a 2-score lead for the Lightning with 7.5 minutes left in the game.
Not something that is easy to overcome at all, especially not with the way that this offense has looked in the second half. Really no spark, nothing that's really been good to look at, if I'm being honest. Max Scott has done a great job, but other than that, there's really been no production.
So we saw a comeback attempt last week for the Sabercats against Fort Collins in the Canvas Classic. They did a really good job making it an actual game at the end, and they're going to need another one of those big comeback chances here, but they only have 2 timeouts remaining to do it.
Swanson back deep to receive here, talking with the ref on your screen. He is an electric playmaker. He is definitely a threat to run it back no matter what. Haven't seen one from him yet this year, but he proved his ability to do that last year.
Kick is up, and it's a little, actually it just goes straight out of bounds. I don't think that was intentional. If it was, that is really concerning.
As we've now learned, the ball goes to the 35 in high school, not the 40 when it goes out of bounds. So we're going to see Fossil Ridge start from the 35 here. Also keep in mind that where the ball crosses out of bounds, you can also like to take the kick from there. But it looked like it crossed pretty much at the 35 regardless. So that is what they are going to take.
So they keep it away from the dangerous Eli Swanson, but they set the Sabercats up in great field position. Looks like they're lining up at the 40-yard line, actually, which might have been where it went out of bounds instead of the 35. Referees are talking it over. Not
Damian
sure.
Masters going to run in the game and exchange spots with Max Scott.
So they're going to keep it at the 40-yard line. Great field position, but really nothing going for this offense so far in the second half.
Yeah, they've struggled to pick up yards, but they really need it here.
Masters in the backfield with Scott. Jantz, sorry.
Oh, he fumbles it.
Jantz finds Camping. They're going to rule it a completion and a fumble as the ball is dropped inside the 40-yard line.
Oh, man, let's look at this replay. Great read by Colton. Gets it out to the big man. He rumbles for a little bit, and the ball just pops loose.
I think by rule that was an incompletion, but I'm not sure they have access to replays. So on the field, they're going to rule it a fumble. They're going to talk it over, however, but
from the naked eye, it did look like a fumble, but on that replay there, you could see that he didn't have full control for those 2 steps.
And they confirm it. It is a fumble called on the field. Big mistake from Caleb Camping there as he cannot hold on to the ball and sets up Legacy in amazing position to put this game away potentially.
The win chances, if you're looking at Vegas odds for Fossil Ridge, just fell through the floor right there. Not that they were high to begin with.
Morton returns to the backfield, and he gets the ball, and again, just making moves with some steam. Picks up 4 yards.
Oh, he's going down, though. Oh. He's hobbling. Looked like a cramp started.
He's going to get subbed out.
They're seeing him hobbling. Going to get him to the sideline.
Chase Combs comes back in as a replacement, which we saw worked out pretty well for them on the previous drive as they gave it to him and then faked it to him and had Gardner go around the left side on a bootleg.
Trips at the top of your screen.
They do give it to Combs, and he's going to run straight up the middle, picks up a couple yards, call it 3 yards.
Man, nothing looking good for this Fossil Ridge defense here in the second half either. Legacy has just really looked like the better team here. Looking at the replay, great blocks up the middle. Great job getting to the linebackers and through the linebackers, actually. Picking up a few extra yards after some contact.
Yeah, so a completely different play style here for Legacy, and it is turning out to be very successful as there's a give to Combs again, this time brought down in the backfield by none other than Braun Southworth.
Well, when it's been a big play on defense, it's either been Crew Isom or Braun Southworth. Braun with his 3rd or 4th TFL there. Big game for him. That's a drive-changing play, and hopefully they can capitalize off of it.
So not necessarily the ideal drive for Legacy. However, it does take off a lot of time as they just ran it 3 straight plays.
And they can let the clock melt off a little bit more here before they punt. I would expect Eli Swanson to receive this punt with about 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining.
We saw them maybe try to keep the ball away from Swanson on the kickoff. We'll see what they do on the punt.
Let the play clock bleed all the way down, and the punt is up.
It is going to go to Swanson, who's going to receive it. Tries to make a couple men miss, and he does, but then just goes straight into the arms of another defender.
Some tussling down on the turf as well with Adriel Hernandez and a member of that Legacy Special Teams unit. Showing the hit there from that blocking team on Kamadrick Foley, the 3-tech.
5 minutes on the dot for the Sabercats offense to try to get something going for the first time. Looked promising on that last drive as they found Caleb Camping for a big chunk of yardage, but then just unfortunately fumbled the ball and recovered by the defense.
5 minutes left to make up a 2-score lead. Chances are not high, but they're out here in 5 wide.
Jantz looking to turn things around in the second half.
4 wide receivers.
Looking left, fires left, and I'm not sure where the ball is. They're going to call it incomplete.
Not sure what that read was or what that play call was.
A lot of traffic over there on the left side of the screen.
Looked like there were 2 quick hitches. Threw it in between them and it fell incomplete. Going to replay here. Yep, looking in the direction of both Caleb Camping and Eli Swanson, who were in the same place. Not sure if that was the design or if it was a miscommunication. I would love to see them push the ball deeper here. Although this Legacy defense has been running 2 high safeties as well as dropping those corners a lot, trying to keep everything in front of them. They know they've got this 2-score lead, and they're going to try and play with it.
Colton Jantz looking to make some better decisions here in the second half as he fires to an open tight end, Caleb Camping, who picks up a chunk of yardage.
Down at about the 28, setting up a 3rd and 4. Looking at this replay, Jantz, ball out quick. Camping underneath, but that all means nothing unless you pick up this first down.
Clock still rolling, not much urgency for the offense here.
I would love to see them play with a little bit more of that.
Now Jantz, after the completion, still in the shotgun. And it's a give to Damian Masters. He does not, he does actually pick up enough for the first down, so the clock will stop momentarily.
That play didn't look like it was going anywhere. Good job by Damian Masters to pick up that first down. He's been clutch these past 2 games, but that running play call keeps the clock going. That set of 3 plays burned a minute.
Yeah, and not a lot of urgency.
Atrocious clock management. You're down 2 scores. You need to move the ball quickly. It's already down to 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I'd like to see some giddy up getting back to the line.
So Jantz looks to the left side. Swanson makes the grab. Swanson makes a couple men miss, and he might be gone.
Safeties.
Eli Swanson.
There he goes.
What a run after the catch. Eli Swanson, touchdown. Huge play, exactly what they needed.
Oh, you just love to see that. Showcasing his elite speed there, makes a great catch. Scoring a Fossil Ridge touchdown. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Let's look at this replay. Jantz, great read, ball out. Soft spot in the zone. Look at all those tacklers.
6 people.
Look at all those tacklers. None of them able to bring him down. Splits the safeties with that run. And that is a Fossil Ridge High School touchdown. Looking to kick the extra point here. It's up and it is good. And they are now down 7. For having an explosive play, that drive still burned a lot more clock than I would like to see. 1.5 minutes went off and they only ran 4 plays. Looking at Eli Swanson here on the year, as we talked about earlier, that yards a game stat is not correct. It's actually sitting at 102.3. He has 681 total yards, 8 touchdowns. He's just really been the guy on this offense. Will Huff has been his counterpart as well, but he hasn't been out here today, unfortunately.
So like I said, a big comeback attempt last week which was sparked by none other than Eli Swanson. And we see that here again this week. Another big touchdown by Swanson to make it a one-possession game.
Special teams coordinator really yelling his name there. I could hear that all the way up here in the booth. He had to run off the bench and throw his helmet on. Looks like the hands team is out.
So they're going to
attempt an onside, probably.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to attempt an onside kick, which actually last week Braden Higgins was able to successfully kick an onside kick, and it was recovered by, I believe, Drew Cipher.
Hands team, majority of them at the bottom of your screen.
Three minutes, 27 seconds left.
An onside kick has to roll 10 yards before it can be recovered.
So Higgins runs up to it. It looks good. It does go 10 yards, and the ball is free.
Fossil Ridge signaling that they have it. They're all excited. Is this the second onside kick?
No, it's recovered by Legacy.
Oh, man.
A great attempt. Good job by Braden Higgins.
Great kick there. A lot of spin on it.
So the Sabercats come out of the pile with it, but the referees ruled it as a recovery.
Caleb camping, jumping.
And there's a flag on the field. Probably going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on one of the coaches, it looks like.
Fans are booing here. Fossil Ridge really thought that that ball was theirs. If we go back to that instant replay, it looked like a Legacy player had it somewhat corralled, but not full possession of it yet. Without full possession, it can't be fully recovered, and a Fossil Ridge guy came up from the pile with it. Interesting decision there. And then Fossil Ridge disagreed with it so much that they're going to draw an unsportsmanlike penalty. And now they need to force a very, very quick 3 and out to still have a chance at winning this game.
But you're right, don't do that.
I would expect to see nothing but runs here from this Legacy team.
I would absolutely agree.
But still no heavy set from the Fossil Ridge defense.
Aiden Morton still in the backfield, and he doesn't get the ball as it's a keeper, and it's a pass out to Joey Jewett with some space. Goes out of bounds, which will stop the clock, but a great pickup. And I think they're probably thinking about scoring rather than
looking at this replay. That I love that play call. That is a very safe completion. Not much that can go wrong there. But the defense was definitely expecting the run, and that is a play that is designed to go against the team with a heavy set in the box stacked. So nobody really on the outside to make a tackle for a loss there. Love the play call. Really love it. Getting your big man out in space.
Expecting that one to go to Morton, but it was a fake. Morton is in the backfield again.
Goes to him this time.
This one. Oh,
fumble!
Ball's out! And I think Legacy was able to fall on it as it touched a couple hands of the Sabercats.
You'd see a lot more energy from that defense if they did have the ball. It's definitely Legacy's. Ball popped loose, and it looked like Jewett jumped on it. Hard to tell.
That was Crew Isom on the forced fumble. Unbelievable game from him so far.
Him and Braun Southworth have been the real playmakers on this defense.
So looked like maybe a chance there for the Sabercats to get a big stop.
Clock down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
They didn't recover it, however, it was a big loss, so it's a 2nd and 14 now. Morton's still in the backfield.
They're going to let the clock run all the way down before they snap this, burn as much as they can.
Sorry, that's actually not Morton. That's Chase Combs, who is wrapped up immediately.
Looks like he might have gotten 2 yards there, setting up a 3rd and 12. Actually, they're going to rule that a 1-yard pickup. Let's look at this graphic here. This is Andrew Gardner, the quarterback for Legacy. He has 1,820 yards on the season. That is actually not correct. He has more, around 900. That 14 touchdowns and 12 interceptions is from last year, 182 yards a game. These are his statistics from last year. This year he has some better efficiency, but he's also done a lot on the ground, especially in the red zone. He has 6 rushing touchdowns on the year. So they're going to rule that a pickup of 1, a 3rd and 13 set up here for Legacy.
3rd and 14, 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. And it's a keeper up the middle for Gardner. And he's close to the first down, just shy of it.
He picked up a lot more than I thought he was going to be able to get. Oh, he looks like he's hurting, though.
Injury
Unfortunately for
timeout.
Legacy, that stops the clock. The ball will be down at the 10. Yeah, look at that. Made a great jump cut to the outside at about the 15-yard line. Great move there from Gardner.
Gardner does get up under his own power. He seems to be fine.
The biggest part about that injury is that it stopped the clock.
And that he'll be out for a play. They're probably looking to go for it on 4th down. I would imagine they're just going to do what they did earlier in the game and have a direct snap to Aiden Morton.
I don't know much about their special teams unit, but if you trust them at all, I'd kick this. A 2-score lead is a 2-score lead. That means that Fossil Ridge would have to have 2 possessions and they'd get the ball back with about 2 minutes left. That's really pretty much impossible to have happen. Although if they do go for it on 4th and not get it, Fossil Ridge has to march 90 yards, which is not an easy thing to do, especially with only 2 minutes.
It's like they're not attempting a field goal. So they are going to go for it.
Gardner is in the game, it looks like.
2 yards to go.
No, it's a field goal.
Oh, it is going to be a field goal. So this would be absolutely huge for the Lightning, as it would put them up 2 scores.
Fans are getting loud, trying to get in his head.
That's number 43 on.
Waiting the snap. That's a high one. The kick is up. It's low.
Good, no good.
And it is good. It just finds its way into the uprights.
From up here, that looked like it was low from the start, but that does go through. Barely, just barely.
2 minutes, 9 seconds left in the game. Legacy
27-yard attempt from the right hash. That puts them up 2 scores, which means Fossil Ridge needs 2 offensive possessions to tie this game. Not something that is likely going to happen.
So if Fossil wants any chance in coming back in this game, they're going to need a score here quick and another onside attempt.
Score here quick is definitely what they're going to focus on right now. We've seen them be late in games with opportunities to score, but they've struggled to show urgency and good clock management. So I'd love to see that from this coaching staff here with the game on the line.
Sabercats with no timeouts remaining, so they're going to need perfect play calling on this drive if they want any chance.
Urgency will be key. No run plays will be key. Getting out of bounds will be key. Taking shots that might fall incomplete is also going to be key.
It's another short squib kick. Absolutely bottled up. And they're going to call. I think he probably called a fair catch, but still got decked. So there is a flag on the field.
Aiden Morton with the hit there. The running back. Drew Cipher with the catch. He looks to be all right, but that was a very big hit.
I didn't see a fair catch live. Not sure if I missed it. I think that is what they're going to call, though.
That is a 15-yard penalty, I believe. Yeah, so they're going to have it all the way up at the 40.
Yeah,
45.
So actually a pretty costly mistake there. That does set up the ball at the 45-yard line. And there's 2 minutes and 7 seconds left on the clock. Like I said, no timeouts.
This Legacy team, especially here in the second half with the lead, has been running a lot of deep zone coverages, which really eliminates the ability pretty much for Fossil Ridge to try and take the top off. So let's see if they can feed underneath and still get the ball down the field quickly.
Swanson in motion. Jantz looking, trying to find something, but just ultimately throws it away.
Good call, great call actually. That's what clock management is all about. Maybe you don't get what you wanted on that down, but you stop the clock. Because it doesn't matter if you don't pick up the chains if you burn the clock all the way down in the first place. 2 minutes remaining. Looking at this instant replay, really nothing downfield. Not sure if he really needed to escape that pocket. I would have liked Colton Jantz to maybe try and step up in that. First time in a while that he hasn't felt pressure.
Yeah, but really
he felt some artificial
no
pressure.
one open downfield. So
that was for sure.
Good decision.
Only
to
3
throw it
down
away.
linemen in all of these sets that they've seen here. And they've got their pass coverage linebackers out in this nickel formation.
Jantz in the shotgun on the 2nd and 10. Looks left, switching his direction to right, rolls out again, and just fires it to the sideline again. So back-to-back thrown away balls by Colton Jantz, and it's going to set up a 3rd and 10. Not much time has gone off the clock, but no yardage.
Great pressure from Joey Vaughn there on that edge. Really blowing up that play. Great coverage downfield again. And there's a lot on the line here on this 3rd and 10. Good clock management, but not good job picking up yards.
Obviously 4 down territory here, so they don't necessarily need to convert on this 3rd down. But they're going to want to get something going sooner rather than later.
3 safety look from Legacy. They're letting everything stay in front.
Swanson alone on the bottom of your screen. Jantz drops back, looking left, fires to the sideline, but I think it's incomplete anyways.
Looking for Braden Higgins.
Would have been out of bounds if he had caught it, I believe, but that's going to set up a 4th and 10 as they have done nothing on their first 3 plays.
We finally saw a 4th down get converted here in the second half, but we've seen a lot of attempts overall in the game. Both sides are 1 and 7 on 4th down conversions, and Fossil Ridge is hoping to make it 2 and 8, but that is unlikely as 4th and long is an incredibly hard thing to pick up.
4th down, they need at least 10. Ideally, they would pick up a lot more than 10 with the lack of time remaining, as Jantz looking right, rolls out right, pressured, throws, and it's incomplete, out of the reach of Eli Swanson, and that is most likely just going to do it for this game.
With no timeouts, Fossil Ridge can do nothing to stop the clock, and Legacy is going to kneel this out and improve to 3 and 5. Fossil Ridge is going to drop down to 0 and 6, a very disappointing start for them to start this season.
They can't kneel it out yet, but after 1 first down, they will be able to end the game.
Some frustrated players taking the seat on the bench.
And actually, they are going to do victory formation, so maybe
there's
my
no
math was wrong.
timeouts, so Fossil Ridge can do nothing to stop the clock. Clock is going to dwindle down here. They're going to let all of it run off. This game is over. We saw a great performance in the second half from Legacy. They scored a lot of points. 17. Three scores in this second half is the difference as this clock goes down under a minute.
We saw a lot of fight from the Sabercats, specifically in the first half, aside from that one play from Eli Swanson in the second half. But really, other than that, nothing going at all for the Sabercats in this second half.
A big difference maker was the run game for Legacy in that second half.
Yeah, in specific, Aiden Morton.
He ran every play incredibly hard, never seemed to be able to be stopped. And this clock is under 30 seconds. The play clock is 30 seconds, so that's the end of the game. The teams are going to line up and shake hands. I've been Henry Goots.
I'm Trace Hand.
And this is Sabercat Sports Network. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week here at PST Stadium.